So today I'm going to be making sugar cookies, and these cookies are going to be for a cookie decorating party that's going to be at my mom's house. We call her Grandma. And the powder ingredients that are going to be in this recipe is flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt. And the liquid ingredients are 4 eggs, butter, vanilla, and almond extract. And I think that's everything. So I'll link the recipe down below. So if you guys want to make your own Christmas sugar cookies, you can. So the first thing I'm going to do is measure out all of the powdered ingredients. Kind of do that. I'm doubling this recipe because we're making a lot of cookies. So it calls for 2 3/4 cups of flour. So this is something that my family has been doing for a couple years. We kind of change up whose house we're going to go to. And this year we're going to my mom's house, and she's also making dinner for everybody. So that way everyone gets to have their own holiday party at their house. And it's just kind of fun. We had the ornament party here at my house, and we're going to actually be having a game party at my sister's house. So next weekend we're doing games and pizza at her house. And then I felt like Kaylin did the Christmas crafternoon, which was fun. I have to make sure I'm paying attention because I tend to lose count of how many cups of flour I've put in. So that's 2 cups. So I'm going to do 4 full cups. And I always do these cookies, I always make them homemade. I find when I buy the rolls, it's just not the same. I found this recipe, I don't know if I've ever made it before, but it had really good reviews. They are supposed to be bakery style chewy cookies. I know sometimes if you make homemade sugar cookies, they can be like very hard, and like nobody wants that. Okay, so I did 4 cups of flour, and then I need to do 1 1/2 more cups of flour because it's 3/4 twice. So I'm going to do another 1.5 cups of flour. So that's 5 1/2 cups of flour if you want to double the recipe. 5, and now this is my 1/2 cup measure. And in America, we use cups. I know that's not the best way to do it when you're baking, but it's just what I do. So, okay, the next ingredient I'm going to include is sugar. So I'm going to put in 2 cups of sugar because I am doubling. Wow, that's a lot of sugar. Doesn't that seem like a lot of sugar? Wow. So 2 cups of sugar. And then I need 1 full teaspoon of salt. This is how I store my teaspoon measures. I got this idea from my daughter. She always puts her teaspoon measures like in a glass container, and it's really easy to find them and access them. And so I stole that idea from her, and I love having them in this container. So this is actually flaky salt. So I need, let me make sure this is right. Oh no, that says tablespoon. That's not good. Okay, that's about, I just put in 1/2 tablespoon, and I wanted to put in 1 full 1 teaspoon of salt, and I put in 1/2 tablespoon. I think that's close enough. Okay, now I'm going to put in baking powder, and I need 2 teaspoons of baking powder. This is the problem with not baking with your glasses on. Okay, let's find the teaspoon measure. This is 1/2 teaspoon. So I'm going to put in 4, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so just to make sure I know, I put in flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, and now I'm going to whisk it all together. This is my version of okay, in order to whisk the powdered ingredients, I'm just going to use a wire whisk. And this works just as well as using a sifter. And I'm just going to do this until it's all combined and looks like there aren't any lumps. Okay, now I'm going to move on to my wet ingredients. So I've doubled my recipe, so I have 4 total eggs. I'm just going to put them in my KitchenAid blender. Two, 3, and 4. Oops, I see a shell in there. Pull that shell out. I want a shell in our sugar cookies. Okay, now I'm going to put in all the butter. So that's 3/4 of a cup. That's one portion of the recipe, and now I'm going to put in another 3/4 of a cup. There we go. Use my messiness. And now we're going to just blend this until it's creamy. Now we're going to start incorporating our powder ingredients, 1/2 cup at a time. Oops. You can either stop the machine or you can just wait until it's like on the back side and then kind of put it in. Getting thicker, it's looking a lot more like cookie dough. And then we'll just pour the last little bit in. And I'll show you guys what it looks like. I always like to stop here and scrape the bowl. Just in case that powder is stuck at the bottom, which sometimes it is on these deeper KitchenAid bowls. You can also speed up the blender a little bit, the mixer a little bit, and then that'll kind of grab those last little bit of dough. Let's taste it. It's very good. Okay, let's put it back on. Give it one more little blend. Oops. I'm going to turn it on kind of high this time, just to make sure it's getting everything incorporated. While my dough is sitting for a minute, I'm just going to grab my parchment paper. I like these really big rolls of parchment paper. I get these at Costco. Sorry, I didn't show you that long enough. I get these at Costco. And it gives you these really big sheets of parchment paper. I'm going to go ahead and pull out 2 long pieces. Because I have enough dough for 2 different balls of dough. So we're going to take our dough and we're going to pour it onto the parchment paper, and we're going to make a little disc, little flat disc. If you make it into a flat disc, it is a lot easier to roll out after you have chilled it. If you make the dough too round or too chunky, then what happens is that you can't roll it out until it has defrosted a little bit more. Excuse me for licking my fingers. Okay, Another thing I like to do is like sprinkle a little bit of flour on top. Hold on. And this allows for it to not be as sticky. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on top. And then we're just going to take the dough, press it into that disc, nice and round, and then we're going to wrap it. And this is how it's going to chill in the fridge. And this is so much easier than using plastic wrap or any other. And then you have this nice little disc of dough. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Let's sprinkle a little bit of flour. I'm going to pour the rest of our dough on this one. And you can see there's a lot of powder at the bottom of the bowl. So we will just give that a little mix with our hands. Probably could have put a little more dough in the other one. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to use my hands to form this into a disc. And I'm going to sprinkle it with some flour and wrap it up. And then I'm going to chill the dough for probably about an hour, maybe 2 hours, depending on how much time I have. We have to be at the party at 3. And I don't have to frost the cookies before I go. So it'll be like an easy cutout. And then bake. That's it. We're going to take them unfrosted. It'll be fun to see how everybody's dough looks, or everybody's cookies look in comparison. Okay, so I'm going to take that. I'm going to put it on top of this one, and then these 2 guys are going in the fridge. Now we're going to do a little bit of time-lapse clean up the kitchen.
I gave you my heart. Oh, why did I just get nauseous? That wasn't fun.
Use that clip now.
We'll just decorate it.
Mom, I just gave her my cookies. It was so good. Pink? I think Jared wants the color brown for some reason.
I'm gonna play Christmas.
Gingerbread?
Why does he have to be brown?
There's no clean one. That has green on it. This has white on it though. At the bottom.
There. Thank you very much.
Here's a little check-in. I have my 4 feet. I have my head. I'm getting ready to start connecting to make the body. This is a check-in. Look at how sweet his little body is turning out. I love the long legs. Of course, the feet are slightly different. Like this one looks a little bit smaller, but I think in the end it won't matter. But I just love the way he's turning out. He's got like those big gangly legs that you see on like a newborn cow. They're so cute.